We're looking to jump back into the action. It's Knights one map ahead over Luminosity Gaming. And after looking at what they did in group stages, Wes, after looking at what they did in the round of 16 and coming into this matchup, I was not expecting LG to drop a map this entire time. But Knights, at least on Ascent, they've made me a believer.
Yeah, you know, in the early part of the map, even a little bit into the second half, we were talking, you mentioned this, they were going back and forth. It was super close. Nobody could get a hold on the economy, really. Bunch of thrifty rounds. And then in the second part of the second half, where LG, or pardon me, where Knights were defending, they just opened up, man. Ban, first of all, popping the heck off. So good on that jet. So clean. And then also, it was just generally, they had a more kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a more mobile defense, a little bit more variety in where they were able to go. You know, not quite as viscous, we can say. They were able to flow through the map a little bit better on defense, and it kind of showed they had to shake it off. Maybe a couple of nerves being on the big screen in the first part of in the first half. Second half, they totally felt like they shook that off, especially Ban. But in general, I love the way they played together.
Yeah, and I think in way of the kind of shaking off the rust and not seeing Knights, I think a lot of that you can kind of give credit to, or credit's probably not the right word, whatever the opposite of credit is, because LG's been MIA. We haven't seen them since LCQ. This isn't necessarily a tournament that they would be playing in. And then even if you could say, well, okay, you take a look back at LCQ and how they played there, you've got a couple of new faces on the team, so it's not the same LG. So I think the first half really for Knights is, you know, you could say, okay, attacking is their weaker side here on Ascent. They are a lot stronger on defense, but it's also just that feeler, just trying to figure out how LG play, the individual tendencies from some of these players, especially when I don't know if this matchup has ever happened, and if it has happened, it hasn't been for quite some time. Maybe in an open qualifier for VCT elsewhere. So it's, you know, these two teams, this could be one of, if not the only, very few times that we're actually seeing them play together as we catch the last couple of moments there and the game 13-7. Knights put a stamp on it, but now we get to look forward, right? Map number 2 just around the corner. That map going to be Icebox, and it's one that LG in this tournament, coming from group stages and into the round of 16, they're 4-0 on it, so they're looking pretty good. This is pretty comfortable for them.
If they could, it feels like they would play Icebox every single game. They are so comfy on this, as you say, and yeah, they look really great. Like you said, I like that you mentioned the head-to-head because, yeah, for instance, on VLR, there's nothing. They have not. These two teams have not played against each other. Never mind coming in with new rosters. It's interesting that they default to Icebox. You know, it's a pretty solved map in general. A lot of teams do relatively the same thing, especially on attack. But but yeah, Luminosity Gaming still, it requires a little bit. You know, if you've got all these great fraggers, you know, you got Mata, you got all these people who can really pop off individually. Icebox is kind of an interesting one to gravitate towards. Still, that is what they're doing, so I'm excited to see it, and obviously they need this one. I don't think it would be an exaggeration to say it's a pretty big upset overall if Luminosity go out 2-0, that's for sure.
No, yeah, absolutely. Now, listen, guys, you're hearing us say it. You're hearing us say it, but the proof is in the pudding, guys. The proof is in the pudding, right? LG is just LG. They just recently played in the last chance qualifiers. They were a team that qualified for that. They're the favorites. They just are. And I know that we're upsetting the Knights fans and everybody who's been here rooting and supporting the Tier 2 scene, but that's just how it is. We're not biased about it. That's just the way it is. We want to see Knights come out on top. We want to see these upsets because that means that the gap is closing. And you're starting to see some of your favorite organizations or your favorite teams, your favorite players really reach for higher heights as we get our Agent Select locked in. As you said, coming into this one, Wes, I mean, it's pretty solved. We know how Icebox is going to play out for the most part. If you're not running a Sage, you're running a Killjoy, or, you know, both teams are running. If you're not running a Raze or a Reyna, that's kind of your back and forth between your duelists. It's all basically the same every time.
I will mention Tig has been on Chamber the last few Icebox games they've played, so good. You know, good to see that. Tig plays kind of flex in general. Of course, we're going to see Viper most likely from both teams, but I'm interested to see if Tig goes back onto that chamber and what he brings to the table there, because, yeah, you know, chamber is something that is not solved. And do we see it? Yes, we do. There's Tig on the chamber. So I'm excited to see what he brings through, you know, with this new agent who maybe the Knights will have trouble reacting to it. LG are happy to play this map, and so clearly they've got a plan for chamber out here. And they do have those two duelists as well, so they are going to be very, very powerful. Chamber, of course, great on attack, especially, you know, getting maybe an extra round, an extra little bit of weaponry from his abilities. So as you see, Ban pushing up pretty close, and this is what Ban was doing as well. Both duelists actually up very close on A.
Very aggressive. This is something that you usually see from the Reyna, because you can't hit that dismiss and get away, but you also see Ziff there on the Jet, maybe just looking to expend that tailwind early. And you saw that rendezvous, right? That first teleport used to get Tig up on top of this box here, to just be playing that off angle that maybe somebody isn't expecting. And with 6 rounds in the chamber of the Headhunter, if you guys are unfamiliar to chamber for whatever reason, that one is going to be that one-shot kill, especially in the head here in pistol round. But going deeper into the game, I think we see that Headhunter really prove to be strong. That's a great start. A couple of quick body shots to Frosty means that Killjoy will fall. So now you no longer have to worry about that utility. It's also another defender taken off the table.
Yeah, lots of presence now as those duelists did back off. And yeah, they pulled this rotate really, really well. That mid control from the chamber was so, so strong. That is the power of that Headhunter. And yeah, they get the site completely for free. 4 versus 5, but it just doesn't feel like Knights have much of a shot getting back into this site with the setup they've already got here. Everybody grouped up quick, and Ban, once again, popping off. Can't count him out.
No, you absolutely cannot. Unfortunately, went for the Devour rather than the Dismiss. Didn't think that he was in danger, so Dazzle able to out-DPS the heal there, and that spike will be planted. Again, we see that rendezvous. Teleport from Belt. Oh, no, actually one recalls. He wanted that teleport online, I believe, in this retake here, as Dazzle will find the next. It's Gangsta to trade it back, and it's the Headhunter to try and find some more. Ziff just around the corner. Gangsta gonna hop onto that spike. Oh no, Ziff is there to keep Gangsta alive. Somebody's got to try and wallbang the Nova, but they just can't do it. The Knights, they sneak the round away.
Oh no, that is tragic for LG. They just had the plant. They did not have the proper post-plant positions. It felt like a done round with the way they were able to take the site, but a little bit too much of a push onto Ban, even taking that trade. Like you say, Ban made a bit of a mistake there with not using the dismiss, but still, just that one kill, that info that both of them were up there was so, so valuable. LG getting a little bit overzealous on the attack once they have control of the site, once they see that it's free, and Knights punish. That's great work from the defenders on the retake.
Revealing area.
Oh man, that is
it's such a feels bad, dude. It's such a feels bad. Come on, yeah, we can't even pretend that LG are just have to like completely reset after that.
Yeah, and it feels like a little bit of comfortability in these rounds when you're a player ahead. You're kind of just expecting to win, right? You saw that. Those Headhunter shots, they didn't just start ringing through the wall right away. There was enough time for Ziff to find the kill onto Tig. At the end of the day, it's water under the bridge. We move forward. LG wishing they could get that one back. We'll see if they can get some damage done here in this one, as it's Knights off to an early lead. And it's a Sheriff still in hand for Ziff. That tells me that they're maybe looking for that Operator here in round 3. Speedog able to sit the Jet down, finds the next. I didn't even realize it's a Force coming to this round with that plant money. LG feeling nice and comfortable, but they can't get too comfy. That's how they lost the last round. They need to keep the pressure on, need to keep their wits about them, as Gangsta will trade one back. The odds a bit more doable, as the Rendezvous will get Tig out of dodge.
Rendezvous gets him back into that spot,
No
but
way,
he's
man.
still in danger as Gangsta spamming through, and it's only Scuba. So few options here for Scuba, but the spike isn't in a great spot, and there we go, 1v1. No!
You're not allowed, man. You are not allowed to do that. Wes, LG. It was a 4v2. It happened again. They just fall asleep and Knights steal the round.
You couldn't have put it better, man. Fall asleep. LG are completely asleep at the wheel here in these post plants. This time, they kind of looked like a panic plant or something. It was in a sort of a closed spot that was really easy to defend. They had no cover on it at all. And so, yeah, that is a big fumble from LG, especially with, great idea on the force. The other thing that happened here is that Ban had a great flank and just didn't manage to get a kill on it. Had a great forward position, the way he's been doing all series long so far, but didn't find the frag this time and got traded out by a great little Sheriff pick. So yeah, LG needs a mental reset here. Like, if I was their coach, I would almost want to just take a timeout right now, just because of how, difficult those 2 rounds would be to recover from mentally after, getting such a good position in the early round. And yeah, the post plant just needs to be shored up right now.
Yeah, I'm all for the early timeouts. I feel it's all too often that we see teams go either without taking a timeout or taking them so incredibly late, like the last round of the happen. You said they need a mental reset. Well, maybe a couple of jarring shots to the head from the Knights.
They need to be lobotomized here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Moose is able to get one back. Looking to do some resetting into the mental of Ziff, but it's still a player advantage for the Knights, and we've seen them win with disadvantage. So, yeah. See if that still kind of rings true. Tig could get a lot done. Again, we highlighted the Headhunter. These are the rounds where that upgraded Sheriff, quote unquote, gets a lot of value, because when the defenders have full armor, full shields, you can just get that one-shot headshot. And I think Tig going to be trying to live true to the name here in the Headhunters. He's pushed all the way up undetected here on the chamber position. And finds the first. Scuba goes down. No ultimate online. Personal, able to find the neck. Now the odds are even, but Ban is here to make sure that this round won't quite be secured. As the dismiss around the corner, Moose is able to get the plant and sneak away. That toxic screen not up for long, not up at all. As they line up, the shots won't land true. And it's Knights to secure another wonky round.
Tig was seeing red there. You saw him pull out that tour de force right in the middle of chaos. And yeah, did get a no-scope, but didn't manage to get the rest. And yeah, once again, it's Ban who bails them out there. Just getting a couple of kills off the back of that. So Tig had a great position, and yeah, really important one there, because they were ready for the rotate. They spotted the rotate, but you still got to go because Tig is so deep, has so stuck into that B site. And almost got it, but still, LG was fighting a losing battle the whole time. So Knights go up 3-0. We are on to the bye round, and it's not a bonus. Gangsta is the only one, really, on SMG. So it's pretty much a full gun round here, Tanner.
Scanning ahead.
And we've seen him do it with less. So I think, at least for me, I can't keep talking about the buys, because the Marshals, the Classics, the Sheriffs, they all start to get value. I mean, now the rifles are the ones that are starting to ring true for the headshots, going back and forth. This Ban is good for one. Unfortunately, can't sneak away. It's LG still in the driver's seat for the most part. That site yet to be taken, or excuse me, Knights in the driver's seat, as the site's yet to be taken, and they have the ults online as well. That Hunter Fury to deny or to slow down, and there it is. They call out the drone, and Gangsta knows the positions. He finds Dazzle, he takes him down. And who has been more standout in this series thus far than Gangsta? He's been absolutely huge. We've been highlighting Van and what he's been able to get done, but Gangsta's done so much, especially here in this game, and well, now has to do a whole lot more as he tries to find Tig on the way out. Rendezvous teleport, and to get that spike out of dodge, and it's now Gangsta stuck in this 1v2 with a shock dart and a Spectre to work with.
Ready for that rotate, and yeah, he's going to the right spot, but look at that. Smoke is perfect. Has to get through here, and not revealed. The timing is everything, and Moose is going to keep popping his knife out. 1v1.
And 1v1, and at this point, you hear the footsteps. 17 seconds, so plenty of time to get that spike planted. Gangsta expecting a fake at first, as once more, Tig gets out of dodge with the Rendezvous. Now he's got to hop onto the spike. Lots out the chamber, tosses out the recon bolt, and it's Gangsta to do it again, Wes.
Tig had such an opportunity there and got distracted by the arrow. And yeah, there we go. Gangsta's just going a little ham on this one, adding a little personality, a little salt on the wound there. And that's going to be Knights remaining undefeated on their opponent's map pick, the clutch from Sova. And yeah, it was Moose getting a little bit, you know, not quite acknowledging all the possibilities, all the contingencies there, not ready at all for Gangsta to be all the way through into that kind of B area already. We'll see the kill right here as Moose, yeah, just was not ready for that position at all, and you have to be, he could easily be there.
Wow, man, that is... this has to be, it has to be so... Okay, granted, LG coming into this one, they're looking to get their reps in. B-Dog looking to get his reps in with the blades. Unfortunately, they all go wide, and now that ult is no more. It's still a full armor jet, so damage could be dealt. Could also find a weapon and get that one in his hands and manage to do a bit of damage. As Tig, barrel spotted out. Viper utility used to delay any push onto the site. And I like that poison cloud. A lot of the times we see teams just go over the top of pipes and completely disregard the toxic screen. Well, now you can't. Scuba ready for that push or ready for that play, and use a snake fight to try and slow things down once more. The drone through for information, and everybody's coming through from LG, but here comes Scuba. No Gangsta. Able to be the angel, has the overwatch, has the high ground. They pick up 2 kills onto the site, and it's the most important because the spike planted. It's down on the ground, and they can nest egg right on top. As Moose will trade one back, Scuba still holding it down on the defense, sends out some friendly fire. Fortunately, that's not a thing in this game. And now Tig, the last one standing with 5 HP, just has no room to play with. It's Knights for 5, and they refuse to let up.
Knights are saying, you want to pick Icebox? Yeah, pick Icebox. Unreal so far from Knights. They are so composed right now on Luminosity's map pick, and it's, again, their defense is really mobile. It's got a lot of diversity. They are so able to do, like, here you see here, I love Scuba's position because they've been giving up A site pretty much every single round, Tanner. They've been playing complete retake. This time, Scuba is tucked in right where they're used to having control, and so peeks out. They're not expecting him at all. Gangsta's behind to get the other kill and not allow the trade. And again, Knights completely shut it down. They're going to put up the Viper's Pit as well to deny A this time. And yeah, unless Dazzle can find a kill right here, they're once again cutting off so many options.
Okay, Moose. Oh, okay. A sneaky Moose. I've never heard of that. Mooses can be up to 1,800 pounds, but somehow, some way, he Scooby-Doos his way up mid and is able to find a couple of kills. And LG, Wes, it looks like they're done playing around. Now, we've said that before. We said that in round 2, and we were in a very similar position. A 2v4, a winnable, a must-win for LG. They still have a couple of problems to deal with.
My dude has got Moose facts up his sleeve. Dazzle has got some facts for Ziv as well. And there we go. LG finally put one on the board. Man, yeah, just a great hit right there. And Moose with an incredible play.
Yeah, that really opened it up here. Moose playing that ratty style that the Viper is allowed to play, right? Once you toss out that utility, all you have to do is push the buttons. You don't necessarily have to be with your team. Sure, you have to be alive. That definitely helps, but you're allowed to move around the map more, which is why you see that Viper played in maps like this and in the way that Moose just did. It's interesting to me that Tig and Moose are the players at the top of the leaderboard, right? Not the duelist, but instead kind of that lurky, ratty style, really picking the Knights apart. And now at this point, you just need those duelists to start to come online, right? To start to put themselves out there and find those opening frags to really start to secure these rounds. Now, the last time we saw the Tour de Force, it landed one of 2 bodies right in front of them, and it was an awkward situation. This time, Tig has a bit more breathing room with it.
Yeah, not having to use it as a shotgun this time. See if Moose can combine his genetics with a rat and create an abomination, frankly.
It's quiet. Only the noise from the toxic screens. Scuba just around the corner. One up on top of the box is B-Dog. And, well, Scuba goes completely unchecked. He's playing A last round. What's he doing on B this round? Finally, Moose will take him down. As a 3v2 is what we find ourselves after all the chaos onto the B side, make it a 3v1, and do some pretty big shoes for Ziff to fill with just the operator. 0 credits in the pocket here. That wallet looking empty, so I'd imagine we just see the save and the containment hopefully here from Ziff.
Man, I was going to say that Mata has really slowed down and is not providing the frags that LG kind of need him to provide, but actually, you know, Moose is picking it up. It's like you say, the Duelist not on top, but in these last couple of rounds, LG are looking great. It was just the beginning. Knights went on a tear, and those are the rounds where you really need the Duelist to kind of step up, make something happen, get a multi-kill, get an entry, and also, you know, shore up their game on the post plants as well, which is where LG really had trouble. Now they're going to go up to 2 rounds here. Like you say, Ziff going to save that op. Unless they collapse on him, which they will not. So LG get a, you know, a slightly tough road back into this game, but definitely looking like they might be able to pull it off, as you say, Tig as well topping that scoreboard. And Tig has gotten multi-kills out of nowhere in a lot of these rounds, Tanner. He's using that chamber, you know, a little bit like more of an initiator than a duelist almost, going for those opening spots, going for a little bit deeper into the map than, you know, you might expect sometimes, but definitely obviously making it work, getting the kills he needs to. LG need more than that, though. Like I said, teamwork is the name of the game. This is what Knights have been using to really shut it down. LG need to bring some of that to the table as well.
Poison's off.
Yeah, fortunately, only one Sheriff really holding it down. Actually, with the noise being made this way, Knights just looking to stack this one up. Leaving one all by their lonesome. That one player being banned, and you know the damage that he can do in a 1vx situation, so they leave him to it. Meanwhile, everybody beats feet back towards the safe site for LG, and Tig just plays that ratty game out towards mid, trying to catch somebody on the rotate. I don't think Knights are going to allow it, and there it is, the hero op getting the value that they had hoped for. And with this, everybody's already rotated over. Sure, the kills come the way of LG. Mata's able to find the first taking ban down, but it has not been and will not be for free, as Frosty had the most important angle, the most important kill in front of him. But Moose comes out on top. Phantom greater than Sheriff. I guess that's how it works. With the Viper's Pit, Spike is moving the other way.
Yeah, Scuba to take out Dazzle there on the end. And Viper's Pit goes down, as like you say, Spike is over on B. They've already got control. And Moose has got a huge flank. Even if Scuba gets something here, Moose is behind him.
I think Scuba gets something. I think Scuba gets something. Oh, he does get something. And Gangsta might be out of time. But you slap an extra couple of seconds on the clock, and I think Gangsta clutches this one out. He's trying to do it here. Phantom in hand. It was already an awkward round. You're looking to buy in the next, so I don't think there's really any reason not to just go full send on this. Maybe not for the round win, but for the containment and to steal another weapon away. Fortunately for Mata, he stays alive. He takes down Gangsta to make sure that Phantom does not see another round. And they'll scoop together another round here. They put 3 scoops on top of this ice cream. That is the attacking side for LG.
You know, I'm over here in Canada. Ice cream, maybe not exactly what I'm looking for, but who knows? To each their own. Mata, nice tracking there, by the way. So just spotted the foot basically coming out, and then tracked him right through the wall. Really, really nice game sense there. But Gangsta, yeah, like you said, almost got this. There's the kill on from Mata. Gangsta made a good run at it, and as you say, probably the right call to just go for that. Definitely had a good chance. LG, though, finding a little bit of fight, a little bit of grit here. And it's impressive to see that they're able to put these types of rounds together, because those first 2 rounds were just huge tilters, man. Like, there's no other way to put it. They were ridiculously hard to come back from mentally, and LG are doing it. Looks like they are playing well. Mata's starting to pop off a little bit. This is the type of thing LG need. They are out of this series if they lose this map, with Knights already going 1-0.
Early lockdown. Fortunately, that rendezvous will get Tig out of dodge and out of range of the lockdown, as that one gets destroyed. Had a couple of shock darts that were lined up to take that one down. That is, I mean, heartbreaking for Knights. Fortunately, they just push forward and say, we don't need the util. We're going to use our weapons to find these frags. And speaking of frags, B-Dog there escaping him here as Frosty pushes forward. 2 on the round, but they're traded right back. LG once more, a player advantage with the spike planting. It's Knights working against the clock. Now the last one standing is Ziff. He's out of credits, out of time, out of space. Wants to back away for the save, but Moose will not allow it. And Wes, to go back to your point that you were talking about before this round, if LG pick up the first 2 rounds, the pistol, then the round that they forced, that reset their economy for the next round, that allowed Knights to pick up 3 in a row and then, you know, put 2 more on top of it. What a different game we would be looking at, right? If not the score's completely reversed, you're thinking LG 2, 3, 4 more rounds ahead of where they are right now, 10 rounds in.
Yeah, well, and yeah, LG, like, it was the way they were playing, right? Compare the round we just saw to the first round or the third round where they got, or the second round where they got access to the A site and then they just pushed way too far up on the post plant. This time, they back off, they get a good plant, they get into position so they can trade off each other and handle the push from Knights, and they just completely close it out. Knights find it almost impossible to get anything there. LG have improved so much just in this little microcosm of their play. In this map, they look way, way better. It just looks like they've got their heads screwed on a little bit more straight now, you know, just a little bit more composure and using their brains a little bit more. I love to see it. It's just, it shows the tenacity of these players to be able to find a round like that, to get into post-plant positions and not get greedy like that after taking losses early, taking really, really tough losses on A early. That post-plant was textbook right there.
And now they basically, I'm putting it in quotes, in parentheses, there's asterisks around it, all of that. They basically have a free round ahead of them. The bye was abysmal for the Knights, so we quite possibly could be looking at a tie game, but we know that anything can happen with these Sheriffs. I think I saw a Stinger, and maybe we get a little bit of that Stinger PTSD, and somebody has a pop-off moment with it. But for now, LG not only understanding what's at stake and keeping this momentum moving forward, but also giving respect. Although that Knights are on that eco buy, or, you know, maybe bringing in just some upgraded pistols, they understand the damage that can still be dealt.
Yeah, it's, you know, it is the save. Oh, and Ban goes down. That's actually a huge find there to kind of deny the possibility of a thrifty. Of course, you know, please let this be a normal thrifty. With this series, no way.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
in this case,
one's,
does look like LG's gonna take him down. Thrifty doesn't seem to be in the cards here.
Well, Gangsta's still alive.
You know, you make a good point. You know, expand on that.
I will never count out Gangsta. I don't know if he's really in a position here to win the 2v5, but he has been frightening here in the defense for Knights. I think what gets more frightening is the flank watch. In charge is Mata. Going to take down Ziff and is successful in doing so. So a flawless round for LG to give all the respect needed over to that lesser buy of Knights just in case, and they still secure that round in the best way possible. You see B-Dog completely capped out. Moose just around the corner from having max credits as well. I wanted to say this is a good way to kind of bolster yourself back into this, just like we saw in the first map. 3 rounds went one way, and 3 rounds went the next. Now we go 5 for 5. But I think you're probably going to have a bit easier of a time unless we see Knights with this incredibly coordinated attack like we got on Ascent. I think once LG move over to that defense, you have a bit easier of a time working as a new squad because generally, you know, the defensive side of things is a little bit easier when things are hectic in your attacking side. And speaking of attacking sides, this one, okay, it starts off a little crazy as the operators go toe-to-toe and Knights come out on top with the first frag, but fortunately for LG, Dazzle has been spot on. That Hunter's Fury, it has been renamed True Shot Barrage because Dazzle refuses to miss with that one.
Absolutely. A cross-platform gamer coming in here, and they are going to get presence into Kitchen. What can they do with it as Scuba? Oh, Tig actually gets a great pick there. Scuba had the advantage. But it's Moose who's kind of the linchpin of this hit. Standing up here, and he's been spotted. I
don't know what Frosty was looking at. I think heard footsteps behind him, and for some reason, peeked away from 2, back towards what looked like the defender side had spawned, and eventually meets his fate. I guess at the end of the day, it's still a 3v3, so things even for the most part. And if Ziff is, you know, feeling cheeky, he can put those knives online and go for these clutch plays. But for now, it's Knights working against the clock. Gangsta trying to creep up and find something. And Rendezvous gets put down. Gonna get Tig out of dodge from yellow out towards B long. And I mean, the clock is just ticking. Knights, this is not your round to get in and try and win here. Frosty was the closest one to it, and everybody gets cut down. Tig with a huge round. Pops the Rendezvous just at the end for the style points, but I don't know what Knights were expecting there.
I love that from Mata, pardon me. It's just 5 HP, goes and like just jumping, like literally just flying around in the middle of the open area in front of the site, and they're all like, okay, once he gets out of the dismiss, we're going for him. Tig peeks out and just gets an easy double. Like, yeah, really, really good there. Mata is kind of like the court jester in that situation, where the crossbowmen are standing off to the side, using him as bait, and we're 1 round away from a tie game if Knights can find this, but Mata does not want it to happen. Wants another 7-5, but in LG's favor this time. Great pick to find the jet there.
And it's interesting how that one played out. The op shot missed, but the Phantom of Mata landed true to rip that jet out of the sky. So Ziff going to be trying again on the attacking side after going down there. And since we've kind of moved away from that Sageless meta here on Icebox, there's no resurrection to be had or to be made. Now, Viper's Pit, I'd have to get a better look at that one, but it doesn't seem great. It's that Viper's Pit that you can just go over the top. Fortunately, Bandit's here ready for that, so they're looking to maybe bait them in to using that rope to try and creep across, and they're ready for that push should it happen. But are they ready for Mata to be creeping in here? The swamp monster, that is Reyna. We'll find the first, holding down the site now. Mata in a great position. His man will back away. So will the... Okay, the Viper's gone. The Viper's Pit is down. The A site's been opened up. But look at the mini-map. Everything's happening out towards B. Frosty refuses to give up this position.
Yeah, Viper's Pit. This Viper's Pit going to be a lot more effective here. And Frosty needs one, only gets one. Traded out, but Spike doesn't get planted, and we got 20 seconds left.
And 20 seconds, so this has to be the final destination as B-Dog gets spotted out. Fortunately, Moose goes up top, and B-Dog closes it out, and you called it, Wes. It's 7-5 at the half in favor of LG.
7-5. Yeah, LG just looking much better now at the end of this. They regrouped so well. I cannot stress enough how impressed I am that they were able to come back from such a difficult start in this map. And yeah, you know, it's Moose and Tig, like you said. Now we've seen Mata in these last couple of rounds kind of like just entry fragging and kind of just making space instead of being that star fragger that, you know, in some maps he can be. But I'm interested to see Knights attack as well, because, you know, you were talking about how Knights did so well, were so mobile on attack on Ascent. On Icebox, there just isn't quite as much room for that style of play. It's a little bit more kind of funnels you into one strategy or the other, and like I said, more of a solved map. So we'll see if they can get the types of peaks and rotates and, you know, surprises they were getting on Ascent on the attacking side, because it looked great, but will they be able to do the same thing on a map that limits you a lot more?
Only damage traded out early in this one, but Knights looking to get onto this A site. They're looking to do it quickly. Ziff picks up one, going to be taken down. Nice shock darts there from Dazzle. Going to find Scuba, who's been clutching some of these rounds, but the rest of the Knights looking to pick up the slack here as Ban just continues to push forward. And this is really where the Reyna starts to shine. When you can say, Ban, just go kill. It puts Moose in such a tough spot. It's a pistol round that all actually isn't online, and Ban wasn't really ready for the angle as Moose picks up two. Now this one's doable. Look at the health on Frosty. He's 1 HP.
One shot away. Moose needs to find this position quickly, though. That spike's a little bit far out. There we go. So difficult to find him from this position. They're going to run into each other here.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Moose gets it, baby. The clutch and the pistol. And that's Moose to find the round. LG keep that win streak going.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, I mean, they've been space jammed. LG, they've space jammed Knights. Knights came in, and they were these incredible players, and the Monstars of LG come out of nowhere. They completely suck all of the ability out, and it's 8 rounds in a row now that LG have put together after Knights put 5. And that right there is such a huge start, because it's not just 8 rounds in a row and, you know, maybe you're at a full buy or something wonky. That was the pistol for the 8th round. So now this anti-eco, it puts LG in such a good spot. I saw a bunch of Sheriffs, so you still have to respect that. But what a round from Moose and from LG to hang on and keep this momentum going forward.
Yeah, so good on that pistol. Call him MJ. Moose is doing it all here. Gets the 3-piece in that round at the end.
These mid lurks on the flank. Yeah, the mid lurks up for the Vipers have been pretty good. They've garnered quite a bit of value. Unfortunately, this round won't be too much for the Knights as Frosty picks up their second on the round, looking for more. And, well, it's a classic over the Sheriff this time for Mata, and it's LG to 9. And, well, there's never been a better time to get things started for the Knights than this round here because they're going to have that full buy.
Yeah, and they do need it. Yeah, it was just kind of a disorganized situation. But, of course, the eco. So LG 4 rounds away from equalizing. And we go to bind if we equalize this series here. Knights versus LG. A very important one for both teams. You know, Knights are really, really close to Radiance in those leaderboards. They are very, very close to kind of getting over the top. And they might have to play Radiance depending on how that other upper series goes in the next game that they play. Well, meanwhile, LG, you know, we talked about it already. We're talking about it a lot, but it's true. They got something to prove here with this new lineup. And right now, it's Van proving everything.
They're trying to put another blemish on that LG Winter Champs record. They already put the first loss there. Now they're looking to put the second if they can keep this moving forward as the full buy round for the Knights. Maybe just shy of a flawless. Moose is able to steal one, but Ban is there to pick up the next. We talked about it in the pistol. Now we get it when there's actual guns involved, and that's the Reyna no-kill strategy. And, I mean, Ban is now able to kind of spread those wings, and they're letting him off the leash a little bit.
Yeah, the bonus for LG, not converted, but B-Dog onto the op. B-Dog definitely not his best performance down on the bottom of the scoreboard there for the Jet, but, you know, the defense... I love the way certain Jets play the A site on defense on Icebox. You know, there's so many, like, kind of weird little angles that you can find, and going to a different one each round, going to multiple ones in a round, you can really make it so difficult for the attackers to get anywhere playing Jet on Icebox on defense. Get some real highlight plays, but B-Dog needs to pick it up if he's going to look for those.
A lot spotted there and a lot heard. All the shots from A here from the defense. It gives Knights good general ideas how things are playing out early in this round. Frosty, the only one out towards B, and those Toesies get spotted, and Moose will step on them. Frosty taking off early means the attack now withered away by 1. And the Viper utility's out towards B. So if you're looking to cut off any of these angles, you're really putting a whole lot into the cloudburst of Ziff, who looks to be the first point of contact for his team. B-Dog might have something to say about it.
Here.
Yeah, already the 4 versus 5, and they're ready for this, but B-Dog misses. Not good at all, suffice to say.
He misses the first shot, but lands the shot onto the recon bolt. How that happened, I'll never understand. And now Ban is the last one standing in a 1v4. The Empress is online. He's healing up. He's dismissing away, but he just can't get out of dodge as LG secure double digits.
Yeah, not able to get in there. And nice work by Moose. That's a once-a-game type of spot right there. You can make it work once a game standing up, and this time makes a lot out of it. It's Frosty on the lurk. Frosty was lurking on Ascent as well and going over, kind of shoring up that B passageway on Icebox. This time gets a little bit too far up, and Moose to punish. That's why you don't see that many people do it. Moose is on 20 already. Such a good round, or such a good map for the Viper here.
Okay, maybe not a one and done. Tig just going right back to it says, all right, I'm going to play here until you punish me. Just playing this thing. It works too, because it's hard to punish when he's got that rendezvous to just get out of dodge. So with that, Knights look to go the other way. Tig still finds value in that position, uses that teleport to sneak out just in case somebody was right behind him. Meanwhile, on the A side, it's Mata to hold it down all by his lonesome here. Frosty gonna go up on top of 410. Immediately answers the dismiss to get away, but Ban tries to run him down, and the blades go wide. Ziff is able to steal something back. 2 players dead on each side, and the spike planted out towards A. Means an interesting retake here, and look at Scuba. He's out toward mid. He's looking to be the thorn in the side, and there it is. He picks up Pig as we swap back to sight. The op shots won't land just yet. The blades are still online, but immediately they're ripped away. They're stripped from the hands of Ziff as B-Dog hops out onto the side. Now it's all up to Scuba to look to play the lineup game. The lineup Larry right in our midst. But both players looking out towards this belt area. No way. The snake bite not even on the spike. Finds the kill, and Scuba finds the clutch.
How does that first snakebite get a kill? He was nowhere near. Did Scuba plan that? That is absurd. So Scuba, yeah, like you say, nowhere near the spike for the first snakebite, but either just threw it out randomly, seeing the spot, or had some sort of weird, nerdy lineup for that off angle there. And yeah, that is ridiculous from Scuba. That is not how that round was supposed to go. I still do like what Knights were doing on the attack. I said it was a little tougher on Icebox, but it still can be done. You saw, Scuba once again with the push up into mid as well to get to, kind of catch that rotation onto the site. Got a kill there. Also clutches it out. Beautiful from Knights, but they need it to... That's not going to happen every round.
No, it's not. Although stuff like that for Knights seems to happen more than it should. Lockdown use. Dazzle opting in to go for the kills instead of taking care of the ultimate. Wants to play that full retake as a team. So we go 1 for 1 overall as Viper's Pit now use this one way of Knights. Dazzle continues to pick up kills with the utility. I mean, so good, but Ziff makes it look better. Snaps to the heads and puts him 6 feet under, but that spike yet to be planted. Tour de force online for Tig, but you just do not have the angles. You have to get so lucky. You have to be so perfect. Mata could be the linchpin here for the squad, just on the other side of the pit. It's one of those Astro Wall moments where you just knife outside the pit. Unfortunately for Mata, he doesn't stay alive for too long, and now Tig has to do the unthinkable. Has 3 shots, has 3 players to worry about, but Ziff wants the ace, and there it is. Knights to secure another.
Ziff just on one in that round. That was an ace, and it was earned, baby. So good. Ziff trying to challenge Moose for that top spot in the server, and yeah, that second shot when the 2 players peeked him just decapitates the second player. And also a great flick onto Mata, who had a great spot there. It was all about timing, and as a matter of fact, Ziff didn't quite get the timing right. He was looking away, but still flicks over. So good. And yeah, Knights on their way back trying to tie this one up. It is another gun round, but you can see they are out of money on the Luminosity side. B-Dog picking up that op with light armor, being forced off of that corner here.
Oh man, what
we got a bit of a series on our hands, Tanner. First of 2022 for Nerd Street, and this is a banger, dude. Certified Hood Classic already this series.
Yeah, absolutely insane. And like you said, this round could be the round that ultimately allows Knights to tie things up, because the economy, it's not great for the defense. Moose, the only one out towards this B site for now. The rotations are coming through, but it might just be a second too late as Dazzle brings up the rear, tries to be that cavalry. Your Viper's already dead, and I mean, Knights still have options. An aggressive position from Mata will trade the kill back. They still need to try and get some more, as all 4 from Knights look to stomp onto this B site. They got the Viper utility across the map. So again, it's all up to the Cloudburst. Ziff has a huge role to fill in both Duelist and in way of Controller as we continue to go back and forth. It's Scuba again for this Knight squad. He's been absolutely huge. But Mata, now the Empress online. Who will or can somebody dethrone the Empress as Tig swings the corner? Rendezvous not in time. It's Ziff to sit him down, and it's LG down to their last hope here, the Empress online.
You just do not want to take an aim duel against Ziff right now. He is feeling it. So difficult to find it, but Mata does it anyway.
No way! Mata pulls out the classic. Empress online, able to dismiss and devour to get to full HP. Now looking for the last in Knights, and it's Scuba who's been more clutch. Mata's out of time. Scuba's done enough and will find the kill on top of it all. It's Knights to 9, and they're moments away from double digits and tying us up here, Wes.
Sweatier than they wanted, Knights on that round, but they do get it done. Very impressive stuff, and the timeout is called. That's going to be LG. wanting to regroup a little bit here, man. I need this timeout as well. This is on a knife's edge, this game. And Mata, oh man, almost got this too. Just like you say, ran out of time. And yeah, it's back and forth. We're back to the slugfest at this point. But Knights are the ones on a tear right now. It just looks like a slugfest. It's been LG streaking forward. Knights getting that win streak as well. What are LG discussing in this timeout? How do they deal with this? Because Knights finally have found some momentum on the attacking side, and they are catching those angles. LG are losing to flanks. They're losing to pushes up mid where they're not covering. You know, maybe they do now want to play the retake again. They've been playing forward on sites. Maybe they do want to back off and try to play together after the spike goes down.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take all of that analysis, and I'm going to sum it up to this. This is how the analysis goes. I said that LG were the Monstars, and they space jammed the professional players of the Knights. Like the professional basketball players in the first Space Jam. Now, I haven't seen the second one. I'm going to spoil the first one here for you guys. The Monstars lose. So even though they Space Jammed them, they took all of this momentum. They took all of the ability, just like LG did the Knights. This could be where that script flips upside down and the pros come back online and Michael Jordan reaches all the way across the court to slam dunk. Unfortunately, maybe not in this round. I said this would be the round that Knights tie us up and get to 10. Taking that headhunter, are doing just that. They're hunting heads. Oh, nice body shot there. That was a close one. Trying to find the next. They understand the threat is Tig. They have to get that headhunter out of his hands in that chamber, and Ban taking matters into his own as the snake fight gonna slow things down for a second as we'll find that return frag. But Knights is full steam ahead. The last one standing in Mata only has a sheriff, and well, that's not enough to get it done. We're not up at 10.
Yeah, full steam ahead is exactly right. I love the way they played the end of that. They just all peak together. They get way closer up, and you're not ready for those angles as the defender coming around. You think they're going to be back at yellow, maybe one to plant. Instead, they all collapse onto that angle, and Knights have equalized. That time out from LG. They are going to be able to get guns now, so they are going to, you know, I guess in that timeout they decided go for more of the save here. And yeah, you saw Tig with the headhunter, obviously, so it was a save in that round. But yeah, Knights looking so controlled, just like Ascent. They are doing the same thing. They are getting into all these different little corners, getting themselves, basically just putting LG on the back foot by nature of their play style. And Knights get the first pick again.
Poison's off.
In a very crucial round, we talked about the economy. Knights looking to grab themselves a lead, and well, unfortunately for LG, the Empress is available once more for Ban. Maybe not needed as Dazzle, a headshot through the wall, finds him low HP, needs to back away again. No heal for these squads as we moved away from the Sage. Comp Tig gonna find a nice kill through the smoke to stop the plant for now. So it's spiked down, and somebody's gonna have to retrieve that one as Moose does his best to hold it down on the side. A 3v4 just around the corner from a 3v3 is Gangsta starting to clutch up once more. He's feeling that gene in his bones, and we're practically even across the board. But Frosty caught with his pants down, caught with the utility out. It's taken down in the spike, yet to be planted in the crunch. It's right around the corner here, Wes. You see the push through mid. B-Dog still holding it down on the site. Has the weapon here. Shots go wide from the operator, so Scuba is able to find that spike, but with 20 seconds, you have to get it down here.
They didn't have the option to watch the spike, and so it still can get planted. They're actually kind of outside the sites. Yeah, they are just letting it go down. They're going to play the 3 versus 2 honestly here. With Gangsta spotting out, he's going to reveal he's up top. How do they push on this? There we go. Tig coming in from the back. Perfect from LG. So perfect. They use the info exactly the way they need to. Of course, it was the 3v2, but still, you got to love those fundamentals, Tanner. You got to love when a team plays the advantageous position properly. That is the beauty of these games to me.
And hello, LG. Welcome back. We missed you the last couple of rounds. It was looking scary for you, and we had very high hopes and still have very high hopes for Luminosity Gaming, and that round was just them giving us a bit more life as Tig, operator ready, and by operator I mean tour de force, gonna opt into having that Spectre as a secondary should he need something. for a battle up close and personal. Meanwhile, Knights kind of down on their last leg for a few of their members. Maybe the last full buy that we see in the game from them. Hunter Shiri queued up and Dazzle. He's just been so good with it. It looks like only finding a tag this time around, but onto 2 means quite a bit of damage. The members of Knights thus far, and well, they haven't even done anything. They're still in spawn.
Yeah, they haven't gotten much, as you say. They haven't gotten any map control at all besides this B Hall area here, and they're not even going to really use that control either. Once again, using the timer to their advantage if they can, but something they need to pull the trigger at some point, because LG at this point, we've seen the way they're playing. They are not going to peak. They are definitely not going to get over aggressive here. Even with Tig on that tour de force, going to back off, wait for it to come to them.
Nothing really to delay on this side of the map in way of that plant. Outside of the players, obviously, but then you have to put yourself in harm's way to be able to do that. Empress pops, but immediately abdicated. The Empress goes down, and B-Dog, I said there's nothing to take care of to slow things down, but it is the Duelist to do just that. They don't need the util. Meanwhile, Knights start to clean up the kills in response, but that tour de force is still available. And is, well, just around the corner. It's actually the Spectre now upgraded to the Vandal, so a lot of tools here in Tig's toolbox. Unfortunately, he's only got 1 player to work with in the 2v2, and they have to make their way through. Man, imagine that. We've seen some weird stuff. That would be even weirder if Tig was able to find that frag. Meanwhile, Moose,
do they know?
Once more, Scooby doing his way on up. Nobody ready for the 1,800-pound Moose. He drops 1,800 damage on him. And LG push forward once more. The snake fight not enough to delay the spike. It's map point now on the line.
Wow, that's just a straight up mistake on the post plant. You've got to be watching that. You have to know that's an option to be flanking there. And Moose took his time too. Moose was miles away when that retake began. Still, LG, as you say, map point, want to take us to bind here. And all they need is this one. It's going to be a buy. Totally fine for the gun round for Knights. But yeah, you can see here's Scuba up close, and Knights had such an explosive take too, Tanner. They were so good on this hit against a lot of adversity where Mata was getting frags. They do such a great job getting that spike down and getting into positions, but they just do not cover the flank.
And that's what, I mean, that's where we've seen Knights really come out, right? Is playing these awkward angles, or playing around one another, using the space on the map and picking the opposition apart. Instead, it's LG to do that. Here in this round, Knights muster up all that they can. Lockdown used, but Tig, oh my god, just so beautiful. And we're seeing why the chamber is working. I don't even feel like it's been the chamber utility. There's never been a time where I thought, oh, that trademark just sniffed out the flank or something of the sort. It's just Tig finding kills and teleporting away in situations like that where he's able to tank, just about tank, that lockdown and get out of dodge so far away. And the rest of the team is here by now. For Knights, you see them. They're sheepdogged into this position here in A because the crunch once more is just around the corner.
Yeah, remind me to go back to that chamber point because there's a reason for that. But we are into this round now, and it's just going to be LG shutting them down.
Yep, down to the last here in Scuba. A 1v5 situation. He picks up the first, needs to find the rest, and unfortunately will not do it. So LG, hang on. It looked scary for a second, Wes, but they're going to be taking us to a map 3.
Yeah, Knights lost a little bit of steam. It was, you know, LG started playing well, but I think that you do have to chalk it up a little bit to Knights kind of running out of ideas. They had Scuba going in through mid, had a bunch of surprise rounds that they won from that presence. LG started to figure it out. They started to hit their shots. They did exactly what they needed to after that timeout. That's the power of a timeout, Tanner. Come on, coaches. Take those timeouts, baby. We need to see the strategy implemented, and LG showing exactly why it works.
Showing exactly why it works and able to squeak that one out. A very close game, 13-10. That's almost as far as you can go. We almost get to the last round of regulation. Fortunately, we don't need that. And fortunately for us, there are more rounds to go. But while we've got you here, guys, a reminder, there's a LAN coming up here this weekend, January 8th and 9th. We've got that Philly LAN that's going to be working towards the regional for winter champs. And registration ends on a Thursday. So if you want to be a part of that, if you're a team or an org, you're in the chat and you maybe forgot about that one, or you want to partake in that Philly land, please, please, please check that out and make sure you get signed up before Thursday because we want to see you there. Now, with that, we've got more Valorant action ahead of us. It's map 3. Just after this short break, we're headed to buy.